Hello, everyone. My name is Amy Van Loon. I'm the Executive Director of the White Lake Area Chamber of Commerce, and we are your hosts for We Built This, White Lake. And today, our guests are Don and Becky Nordland from Pitkin Drug. Welcome, Don and Becky.
Thank you.
Great to have you in our podcast recording studio. And this is a great way to tell our listeners and our viewers a little bit about not only what Pitkin Drug and Gift Shop does and what their role is in the community, but also a great opportunity to share your story. So with that, Becky, if you want to go ahead and kick us off, tell us a little bit about Pitkin Drug and Gift Shop.
Okay. Pitkin Rexall Drug and Gift Shop was established in 1882 when Clarence G. Pitkin bought the Lyman T. Koval drugstore. In 1892, Mr. Pitkin purchased the stock and fixtures of the Conley drugstore, located at the present corner and in the present building that we have.
Wow.
In 1893, they opened a soda fountain, which they were famous for years. They made their own ice cream in the building behind the drugstore, which is now the attorney's office. Pitkins furnished ice cream for the summer resorts and restaurants until Edith Pitkin and her husband sold to Don Nordland, and we no longer made ice cream. Pitkin Drug became the Rexall store in 1911. The Sunken Garden Gift Shop was established after it was an ice cream parlor and until we no longer served ice cream. In 1953, Don Nordland started working as a stock boy at age 16. He became interested in pharmacy and entered the Ferris State College and got his degree in pharmacy in 1959. A gift department was introduced by me, Don's wife, Becky, into the Sunken Garden in 1964. That replaced the liquor and fishing equipment, which we did not desire. In 1971, they took out the soda fountain and enlarged the gift department. We feel we have a trained staff of some of the finest and friendliest people working for us. But the most important thing is this. Their daughters all came to work for us and are still with us. Deirdre and Stacy became registered pharmacists, and Amy works with Becky.
Nice.
Her mother, in gifts and clothing at Posh by Pitkin and the drugstore. Then also, Ryan Briegel, our son-in-law, became our business manager. They also are all owners of drugstore now.
Okay.
Please come on in and say hello to them.
Oh, I love it. What an amazing story. I think, out of so many of the businesses that we have in Montague and Whitehall, you have such a legacy here in our community. So today, looking at where you are is such an iconic landmark. Becky has poured countless hours into these displays that reflect the history dating way back into the 1800s and fast forward into the year 2023. And so such a story of how that industry has evolved and going strong yet today. You have made it through probably several recessions and inflations. You've made it through a pandemic most recently. So great story. And I love all of this. Don, tell us a little bit about the pharmacy end of it, since you started out there as a pharmacist. According to notes and to Becky's narration, you have been at Pitkin Drug for how many years?
I think it's 70, isn't it?
70 years.
But that was way back when I was a stock boy in high school.
Sure. Yeah. And I don't know if there's one individual, maybe even in this community, that can say that they have been in their location for 70 years, starting out as a stock boy. That's amazing. And so tell us a little bit about your journey and the pharmacy end of Pitkins.
Okay. Can I go back to when I started?
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah.
Just to bring that up to date.
Sure.
And that was, I started when I was 16.
Okay.
I walked to work in the morning to do the janitorial work.
Yeah.
Back then, it was a lot more extensive than now because we heated with a stoker, which you had to fill with coal in the morning and at night. And I lived just 2.5 blocks away. And I took study hall first hour so I could go to school 9 o'clock instead of 8 o'clock.
Is amazing. Yes.
But anyway, that's just a little history.
That's a big part of it.
Okay, now you wanted to know about.
So then you became a pharmacist.
Correct.
Okay. And stayed at Pitkin's and became the pharmacist there.
Yep. So I wasn't going to in the beginning. But,
Okay.
But Edith Pitkin, grandma, invited me down to Florida, and they talked about it with her husband, and he wasn't well, so he couldn't come back up to when this actually took place, when I got involved, and a lot of other people had left, and it was just Dave Dahlstrom and myself as pharmacy.
Yeah. Wow. And you still practice a little bit, or have you kind of handed that off to the daughters to practice?
I do relief work, but I do all the scheduling now, so
Yeah.
Yeah, he does
I'd rather
all
practice.
the scheduling for all the employees.
Wow.
That is a big job.
Sure. Yeah. Very good.
We have a lot of employees.
You do, and you have had a lot of employees. I don't think the number hundreds would be an exaggeration of hundreds of employees over the years. And there again, there's not very many businesses in our community that can say that they have employed, a numerous amount of people in our town. With the pharmacy end of it, that is such a curious industry that has definitely ebbed and flowed. It certainly is not the same industry of pharmacy today than it was back in the 50s.
right. We did all our own compounding, and all that. Now you can't do it. It's got to be done at different conditions in different areas.
Isn't that amazing?
That is,
all the compounding.
yeah, all the different, rules and regulations that
Right.
go along with medicine. So, yeah,
It's for the better.
sure,
Yep.
What do you feel is one of the biggest challenges that you have encountered since the 50s as a pharmacist? I'll put you on the spot.
Of course, all recent stuff I can tell you. Back then, there were only 4 pharmacies in Montague and Whitehall
Okay.
before the CVS, Walgreens,
Okay.
and then
Sure.
later on Walmart.
Yeah.
Only 4 was Lipka's, Todd's, Delkers, and ourselves.
Okay.
Delkers is now where Nuveen is now.
Okay.
That's where they were at.
Right.
And it was altogether different. We worked together.
Oh, yeah.
We're all friends.
Right. Right. Yeah.
And now we're just boxed in sometimes with regulations of the insurance companies. I mean, they'll let the CVS, the Walgreens, and whatever
Yeah.
that are in town now, like do 3 months supply, and they'll limit us to 31 days because that's the longest month of the year.
Yeah.
31 days supply, and it makes it hard because they give bigger breaks than we do.
Yeah. Yeah. That doesn't surprise me, and I'm sure it doesn't surprise our listeners either, of those challenges. And as a pharmacist, too, seeing that industry grow, what do you think are some of the victories? What are, that the pharmacy has accomplished or achieved? Maybe
Oh boy!
maybe you're even having your own daughters be part of the practice.
I had that for later. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
And okay. I'll go there.
Okay. Great.
Yeah. First, I had Dee graduate first. She's the oldest,
Okay.
and she came to work for us. She was looking other places like Florida, but then she says she'll sign on, for a while till I get her. Then we had second daughter Amy, and she took over. Great job decorating with Becky, and really, she has a knack for that. We're as a pharmacist, we don't decorate. Okay. Then I got Stacy out later in 80 something,
Okay.
upper 80s.
Yeah.
And then that worked out real well because then I could get more time off. And before Dee got there, I had to have relief people in, and that was not easy. Because we went on vacation once and come back, and I thought my whole staff was leaving because it just wasn't the same.
Sure. Yeah.
You know. But those pitfalls we handled.
Yeah. And those victories and those, having become a family business is impressive and admirable as well.
Right. Then our gal that was doing our work upstairs, her husband passed away unexpectedly, and she just didn't want to work anymore, had to leave.
But a friend of ours said, "Oh, I'll help you out."
Yep.
Aw, nice.
Yeah, and she came and worked for us.
But then Ryan Brigo came in and close to like 1998, maybe,
Okay.
something like that. And he took over the business manager job.
Right. Okay.
And the rest is history.
Yeah. Yeah. Share with our viewers a little bit about the retail end of it. And Becky, I'll kind of toss it back to you. In speaking with you earlier, you had shared that there was an arsenal almost, in the back of Pitkin's with the guns and the knives and the beverages. The liquor part of it.
Department, guns, knives and things.
Yeah.
And I, as soon as we took over, I said, we sold that to Mr. Pitkin.
Okay.
And he opened it up behind us. And I opened up the gift shop.
Nice. Okay.
And that's when we started bringing in gifts.
Yeah.
And everything that I decorated at that time is still there. It's still the same colors. And everything.
Well, and you've done a beautiful job, and with Amy coming alongside you.
Yes.
And just
and the important thing is that we started with clothing.
Okay.
And people said, please, why don't you, they're going to be closing the business next door to you. Why don't you open up a clothing store?
Okay.
And so we opened up Posh by Pitkin.
Love that.
And Amy does a wonderful job of
Beautiful,
that with me.
beautiful shop. And I believe that was in 2009 that the Posh had opened. And
2009.
Yes, yeah. And what a, time to be doing so. It was just a beautiful shop, a wonderful addition to our downtown. So really awesome to see the stores connected also. And then one more door down, you have the sales shop.
Yeah, everything there is 50 to 75% off.
Okay,
And we're not open right now except for Thursdays and Fridays.
Okay.
No, Fridays and Saturdays. But we will be opening up more.
Nice.
So come in
Real soon.
50 to 75% off.
Great. Good. What about the retail end of it? What do you think have been some of those challenges that you have seen over the years after adding your gift shop? What have been some of those biggest things that you have encountered?
Well, we would have to go to a special gift area,
Shows.
Okay,
shows,
yes.
the big shows to buy all the stuff. And that was a challenge.
Sure, I bet.
Going to those shows
Okay.
and then pricing it. And we're trying to keep the prices good, not the real expensive things that.
Right.
So.
And anyone who has been at Pitkin's also can see that you have amazing inventory, and just it has to stay current, but it's just like I said, a great gem in our downtown.
But we do carry from candies to children's toys and summer toys, the summer things that
Children's clothes, real tiny children's clothes.
clothing.
Sure, yeah.
And so we do have quite an inventory.
You do, and it's also diverse. As what you're sharing is anything from household goods to clothes to things that maybe people even need on a daily basis. And I think that's another admirable aspect, and that is that you serve the local population that we have here year round, but come seasonal, I'm sure you feel that influx of people and you see the tourists.
Our resort area.
Yeah.
And Pitkin, or Whitehall, is a resort area, which is wonderful.
Yeah. And we take pride in promoting our community as that destination.
And Amy Van Loon does that for us.
Well, thank you. It's our pleasure at the Chamber of Commerce. And I don't do that single-handedly. That takes a team to really, promote and market what we have to offer here. We had kind of touched on the employees, and you had met it, and you had read it in your narrative that you have amazing people that work there. They welcome folks as they come into the door, and they help people out. So kudos to you as bosses, if you will, that you have done a great job of, staffing your establishment really well. So what else? How have, we kind of already touched on how you've impacted the community in different ways in offering this location. First of all and foremost, probably the pharmacy end of it, and then adding the gift shop part of it. Genius, right? People are coming in to get their drugs and their medicine, and adding the gift shop part of it. Once again, I had the opportunity to meet with the Nordlands for a length of time to go over some of this timeline. And it's amazing, as I had said, countless hours that Becky has put into sharing the history of Pitkins, dating all the way back to the 1800s, fast forwarding into the 1900s and the 50s and 60s and 70s, and so on, and even to current day. And what I have at the Chamber of Commerce office is a set of displays that Becky has put together. And I think there's 8 of them that you have put together. Once again, displaying images, photos that have been taken way back in the 1800s, early 1900s, along with a narrative and write-ups and articles that accompany those images. It shows, it is.
The history of Pitkin.
It is. So I do have those available. We're not able to show and display those here on the podcast, but I will have those at the Chamber of Commerce office.
And you can have them as long as you wish.
Thank you. All right, let's say maybe even a month, or maybe
That'd
even
be wonderful.
maybe even
summer
6 weeks.
coming up.
Sure. All right, let's do that. And if anybody is interested in seeing these displays, as well as the photo albums and different books that have been put together, just go ahead and contact the Chamber of Commerce office. And you can do so by email, which is avanloon@whitelake.org, or you can call our office, or you can just even stop in. But the phone number there is 231-893-4585. We are open to the public in the summer, Monday through Saturday. We're open 6 days a week now to serve our tourists as well as our locals. And those office hours are 9 to 3, those 6 days a week.
9 to 3.
9 to 3, yep. So you can stop in and take a look. We'll have those available. Any parting thought, Don? Anything else that you want to share with our listeners yet?
Well, just come in and see us.
Okay, yeah, that's a great invitation.
See our employees. Our employees love it when you walk in the door. They'll say hello to you.
Nice.
And they love it when you say hello to them.
They do. Yeah. No, you have wonderful, wonderful staff and team there. And, one of my things that I say often about Pitkins is you almost need just to stand there and take it all in, and then move a couple of feet and look above, look from left to right.
Knows how to display things up above.
Me. And just to poke around, and find, those treasures and just beautiful items in the gift shop area.
And walk back to the pharmacy area.
Yeah.
The pharmacy area is in the back.
Yeah. And that pharmacy is still, just an amazing service to our community. We appreciate their insight as well as their input and their guidance and counsel. they're always available to talk with their patients, and that is greatly appreciated. So with that, once again, that parting thought is an invitation to our viewers and to our visitors. Come on in to Pitkin Drug and Gift Shop. It's that Rexall. You can't miss it. Such an iconic landmark. And Becky, you had said Rexall no longer really exists nationally.
No.
So that is just a treasured little sign, even just because that's what it used to
I
be.
decided to keep it. because
I
it's
think so. Yes.
Exactly what you think of Pitkins as.
Yes. Yeah. Very good. So it's right there on the corner by the traffic light in downtown Whitehall. Can't miss it with that sign. Very walkable community. Park your car and walk about and enjoy Pitkin Drug and Gift Shop. Thanks for joining us today. I'm going to go ahead and close this up unless we have any other thoughts. All right.
Thank you.
You bet. Thanks for joining us.
Come in and see us.
And appreciate you sharing, leaving this legacy. You are legends. Both of you have received the highest, award, being an L Award recipient. Don has been from the
That's
chamber.
right. And I got it too.
Yes, and Becky is a Lady Laker. They received a Legacy Award, and just I'm really proud of the work that they have done
And come
here.
and see our daughters,
Yes, yeah, absolutely. They
Dee, Amy, and Stacy.
all right. Excellent. Thank you again for joining us. And if you have any other questions, feel free to either reach out to us here at the Chamber or stop in and see Don and Becky. See you next time.